Derby Day at Flemington, and as Peter Donegan said, one of the great sights you see is in the Gadsden Rheem. 1,200 metres it is, sprinters absolutely flying down the track, and what a good win that was. I tell you what, we're seeing some great racing, but then again, every year we see great racing here at Flemington, this all-important of weeks. There's Pat Lawler weighing in the jocks, just having a chat to a couple. Don't think there's any problems, though. He'll give them all a tick, give us a familiar nod. And there it is. There is correct weight. And that means here is your money right around the country. Let's take them.
7 Alishan, $23.90 and $7.70. 18 Caltrees paid $2.30, and the dividend for primacy number 1, $2.60. Quinella, $103.60. Trifecta, $1,247.10. Race to race double, $134.80.
Well, I said earlier David Hayes had a bit of bad luck today. He had with Gladstonebury taken out of today, and of course taken out of the Cup as well. But that makes up for it. What a good win, and what a good dividend it paid too. All right, Rob Gaylard is ready with the presentations down in the mounting yard.
Well, what a tremendous race, and it was probably only a matter of time before we saw that surname semaphore over the Cup Carnival here at Flemington. The Gadsden Rheem Stakes, to make the presentations, may I introduce to you Mr. Barry Watts, the Executive General Manager of Gadsden Rheem Packaging.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. Well, what an outstanding day we've had already, and certainly the Spring Carnival's keeping up to the really good standards it's had in the past. And of course the VRC have organised some very good weather this time, a bit unlike last year when we had our race sponsorship. But I must say the VRC always gives the sponsors a good support, and we're very grateful for that. And it's one of the reasons why this is in fact the 14th race that we've been able to sponsor at the Spring Carnival of the VRC. And again, this particular race that we've had has been outstanding. It's been a world-class race, and it's the sort of standard of performance that we're looking for within our own company. And I'm certainly very pleased to be able to present an award for such a winner, who in fact came in at very good odds, and even though I didn't bet on it, my wife did, so that should be helpful for later on tonight.
Yeah, sensational run, and they were great odds too. Ali Shan, that was a great win. Now, Peter Donegan, they all think I'm very clever up here. We're a bunch of happy little punters here in my broadcast box so far. I hope you're going well down there, but let me tell you that Roy is really adding a dimension to it for me. A great horseman, a great former jockey, and his words really do ring true, don't they?
Yes, and there's nothing like standing beside Roy in the mounting yard when the horses come in for each race and Roy casts the eye over them. He's got a pretty good eye for a horse, Higgins. You've obviously seen one or two in your time.
I've been looking at them for long enough, but if I don't know them now, I'll never know them.
A couple of good runs in that race, by the way, too. Chiliad and Burst were both quite good runs outside the place.
Well, Chiliad's a nice horse. Good opinions out of Sydney this morning about him, and I thought he ran up to that. If he's going to stay on over the carnival, I think there could be a race in store for him.
Well, we've got another big field coming up in the principal race today, the AAMI Victoria Derby, and I think it's fair enough to say that it probably lacks a little bit of the class that we have had in derbies over the years, but nonetheless it's a very open race with quite a few chances.
Well, I suppose we keep saying this. We keep looking for another Tulloch or a Farlap or something like that. See, the horses that are running in the Derby here today, these are the horses that we'll be looking at as our weight for age horses of next year, and probably this time next year, half the horses that are running in the Derby will probably be running in the Caulfield, Melbourne Cups, Moonee Valley Cups, etc. So, you know, it gets under my skin a bit when people start putting horses down, saying, oh, it's not a good field, it's not this and it's not that. They're the horses of our future, plus the fact is there's one going to go out there and he's going to go down the record books as having won the VRC Derby, and I presume anyone out there in the crowd would love to take it home, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would indeed. Now, Lloyd Williams is on a bit of a roll at the moment. He's got the casino up and running in Victoria. Is he going to have the Derby trophy to put in that casino when it gets built?
Well, quite possibly. He's got a little bit going for him at present with G Hall, hasn't he? He's already won 2. And barrier 1 here, it's an enormous advantage. I just question marginally Mahogany running the 2,500. But once that barrier draw come out, I said, well, that gets rid of that. Greg will box seat this horse. He'll give it a good ride. I think it's in there with a good chance.
What about Battlehawk? Will he get the 2,500?
I think this horse has been specifically set for this race. I've liked his preparation. It's been one of the real old-style preparations for this race. He's a nice horse. I think he's the one to beat myself. I do like Battlehawks in the race.
And anything else? Zaremba obviously has got a great chance.
Zaremba, good run. He'll race up on the pace. He'll give you a very good sight. The oddly named Waikika he does look as though he'll definitely get the distance. He's been running on at the end of all his races. Quite a number of Maguine's a good horse. He'll race well. A horse here on the up I do like is number 14, Cloudy Star. Now, this horse has only had 5 race starts. I saw him win 3 starts ago, Little Maiden at Werribee. Gee, I think this time next year we could be talking a bit more about him also, and that's not to say he hasn't got a chance here in the Derby today. OK, Roy, well, a few chances here in the AAMI Victoria Derby, and this is what punters have made of it, Dan.
Mahogany Peter is at $6.60. Pride of Rancho, $54.30. Fraternity, $21.30. Zaremba, $10.70. Waikika still favoured at $3.70. $6.60 for Battlehawk. Number 7, Let's Cut Loose, $22. Locum Tenens, $23. Carlamax, $41. Kendall Star, $17.70. McGuan, $11.80. Regal Artery, $31. Pax Matt Will, $91. Cloudy Star, $17.80. Shelved at $19.20. Ice Doctor, $38.80. Star of Somerset, $163. And Military Action, $201. Scratchings are 19 Wheater and 20s are Kinthos Boy.
And very shortly we'll be joined by Caulfield Cup winning jockey Peter Hutchinson, who'll be joining Roy and myself to take a look at the runners before the running of the AAMI Victoria Derby. Well, Dr. Turf has done the right thing by us, got the Quinella up in race 3 at about $19. Can you do the same in the Derby, Doc?
How do we go in race 4, Pete?
I don't know. How did you go?
Hit a brick wall. Pete, this is a really tough Derby, this one. Mahogany, he's going to get the run of the race from barrier 1, but I just don't think he represents value. The bookies really got no idea either. It's each way odds the field again here. And Mahogany, hard to beat, but the distance is the doubt. Looking for horses to beat him. I thought number 4 is Zaremba, which won the Moonee Valley Herald Vase there. Although it was a slowly run race and he was probably well suited, it was nevertheless a very strong win. I think he's going to run the 2,500 straight out, Pete. No worries about that. And looking for a bit of value, especially on the tote, is number 3, Fraternity, which reared up as they jumped away at Moonee Valley and missed the start, probably 8 or 9 lengths. He sort of battled away quite well without really taking any part in the race. I think he's going to run the distance out, and I think at the value, he's probably the best each way horse in the race for mine. 1, 3 and 4, but probably 4 or 5 other chances, Pete.
Dr. Bookies would be back in the battle after the Winner Valley Shan, I suppose?
I don't think they were doing too badly before that, but interestingly, Pete, I did talk to a few of them, and I believe their holdings are down dramatically. I spoke to probably 3 or 4, and they were all very disappointed in what they'd held the last 3 or 4 races.
Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised if that increases with the class horses going around in the last 4 races with the AAMI Victoria Derby, also the Wakeful, the McKinnon Stakes, and then the Dalgety. So we've got the class runners going around, and Tim, the principal event today, race 5, coming up at 3:05.
Certainly is, and more class racing after that too with the McKinnon and of course the Dalgety. We'll take a break from here and come back with more in just a tick.